Hi everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the good, the bad and the ugly when it comes to Walt Disney World parades, shows, fireworks, all the stuff that really isn't a ride but still you can go and see.
Okay, so let's start with the good. These are things that we like and we think are great at Disney. So first up, we have Fantasmic.
I really like Fantasmic when I'm doing the dining package and I don't have to queue. And considering we always do that, I'm putting this in the good because we never queue for it. We usually get a really good spot as well, so I think that might just be our luck. But I really like it. I like that it's got a mixture of, there's a little bit of fireworks, there's water projections and live actors.
You've probably got an idea of what it is. We just think it's a really cool show. I think the music is great. I actually really like the music.
Yeah.
And I think that they put a lot of effort in and I think it looks pretty cool actually. Like there's some really cool scenes in it that have great moments. And yeah, it's just a genuinely really quite a nice show. You know, there's a reason it's so popular and why those amphitheatres are quite often very packed.
I have a fun story about Fantasmic actually. I only went for the first time ever in my life in 2010 because my dad always said, oh, it's not something worth seeing. Now, my dad's one of those people that will say that without actually doing the thing. And it wasn't until they went on their last trip, I was like, go see Fantasmic. And Dad's like, no, it's not worth seeing. I was like, but you haven't seen it. And I'm pretty sure they still listened to my dad and didn't go and see it. But don't listen to my dad.
Listen to us instead and go
and
see it. Okay, so next up in our good section is Illuminations, Reflections of Earth.
This is our favourite firework display. Like, I actually don't really like Wishes that much. They used to do, I can't honestly remember the name of it, summer 2010, there was this special summer fireworks. I don't know if they do it every year or if it was just that year. And they swapped it out and it was really cool. And they had like Pirates of the Caribbean scene and then they would like, you'd hear the sound of them shooting cannonballs and you see like smoke and stuff come out the castle and it was really cool. And they had it was just better. It was better than Wishes. I'm going to say that now. So Wishes is not my favourite. Illuminations, definitely my favourite fireworks show.
I think it's got a very Epcot appropriate story to it. I think it's a really nice sort of celebration of all the countries around the World Showcase. I think it's really great. And I think probably my favourite thing about it is just how easy it is to see. You have the entirety of the World Showcase Lagoon that you can get a pretty good view from. It's really nicely presented just being around that central lake and having all the fireworks and stuff happen above it. That's really awesome and I really like the way they've done that.
I like the lasers too.
Yes, the lasers are really cool and all the lights and all the...
My favourite bit of that show is where they go and they blow all the lights out and then the fire comes on, which isn't even really in the show. But you know the bit. Where
I know the bit you're talking about.
And the narrator of that, is it narrator? Would you say announcer?
Narrator,
MC
I think the MC.
Would that not be what he would be classified as?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, he's like really cool. Like isn't it Eeyore? Wait a minute, isn't it Eeyore? The guy that plays Eeyore that does the voice of Illuminations.
It could be.
I think it is because I think every time I go, it's like it's Eeyore. I could be wrong, but don't tell me if I'm not because that would make me really sad. So another one that I'd add to the good list is Festival of the Lion King. This show is amazing. I think what I really like about it is they kind of interpret the film and have it with live actors and people on stilts and they get the audience involved and there's some like stuff in the air. It's just really cool. And there's fire and gymnastics. It's really good.
It's very lively and there's a lot of fun things going on and it's in a really good location now. I'm glad that they moved it. Their new theatre is fantastic. It seats a lot of people as well, which is always really good because it means you're not going to be waiting around, oh, am I going to make this show? You're probably going to make the show if you can see it. So definitely do this one. I do think it's a great show. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the bad. No offense to these shows or parades or fireworks. They're just not great, really, in our opinion. We don't like them. We think that they could do a lot better. So we're going to launch straight in with the first one, which is...
Indiana Jones.
And his epic stunt spectacular.
It's not an epic stunt spectacular. It's like... meh. I mean, actually, I tell a lie. In the 90s, it was an epic stunt spectacular. And, you know, after seeing the same show since... I think it's been there for pretty much as long as I've been alive. The effects are the same. They haven't switched it up. It's just a bit boring now, personally.
I know that they just kind of want to do some scenes from Indiana Jones and there's not a lot of room to sort of switch that up, really. I mean, they're kind of locked into what they can do with the way that they've built the stage and the set. But it just doesn't feel great anymore. I don't know whether that's just us and we've seen it too many times, but for us it's definitely the skip list now. It's one of those things that we just don't even really consider doing unless we were really pushed for something to do. We had to go do something.
Which in
right
Hollywood
then.
studios, I guess you are right now. Okay, so the next one is a personal hatred of mine, and that is The Voyage of the Little Mermaid. I'm not massively claustrophobic, I would say. I mean, but when we were queuing for this in like the pre-load area, I got really freaked out. The ceilings are really low and they just pack people in there. And you're in there for quite a while. It was really warm before you wait to go into the show. And once we actually got into the show, I wasn't overly blown away. It reminds me of the kind of show that I would expect from a UK theme park. And I don't know if that's like a really bad thing to say, but I was just like, this is all right. It's no Finding Nemo the musical with the like, because you know they had the puppets and things.
Yeah, that one's done much better and is a much more enjoyable show based on a movie. I would say go do the Nemo show, but maybe skip The Little Mermaid unless you really like The Little Mermaid. And even then, just go do the ride in Magic Kingdom. It's way better.
Okay, so moving on to our last category, which is the ugly. When we say ugly, I think we both mean shows that really need a good refurb. Like, they haven't been touched in a long time and either need to be replaced or updated a little bit.
These are things that we actually do quite like, and we like maybe the core concept, or there's just something about it we think, yeah, you should definitely keep this, just make it better. Like,
better.
You know, there's a little bit that you can do to improve on it.
The first one is actually one of my favourite shows, but again, it's been one of my favourite shows since I was a kid. Like, I have a video, which actually I need to convert to DVD, from 1996 of the Beauty and the Beast show in Hollywood studios, and it is literally the same. Like, they haven't changed any of the props, they haven't changed any of the stage. The stage is really faded. Like, even though it's undercover, it just looks old, which it is. It is pretty old now.
Absolutely, which is why we would recommend that it is given a refurb, but doesn't change too much. Like, I think that it's a really good show. What they do with it is great. The way that they act out the scenes, they have a lot of fun bits in it. It's a great show, just it doesn't look it anymore, which is a real shame because I think that takes away some of it.
I know there is a rumour going around that they're going to get rid of it, but I would really like to see it stay because I really think it's a good stage show. But I guess we'll see when all this expansion's finished what's going to happen to it. But it definitely needs some love.
So the final one that we're going to talk about is still in the ugly list. Here it is. So it's the Move It, Shake It, Dance It and Play It Street Party Parade. It's got a ridiculous title. The reason that we're putting this one on the list is because I think it's a very Disney parade. It's encouraging everyone to get up, really get joined in, do loads of cool stuff, be part of the parade, but they're just reusing floats from ages ago. Like, we remember these floats from the parade that they were before that, and we're pretty sure that they were on another one before that. So the theme of some of the floats doesn't really tie into the theme of the parade at all. Like, there's all these presents everywhere that don't really make any sense.
Why is Sebastian on top of a present?
In a street party, it doesn't really make any sense anymore. So what we'd like to see is some updated floats, but keeping pretty much the concept of the parade the same.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even have to be too updated. Just make the box into like a DJ booth and you're done. Like, just a bit of cardboard around the outside, just make it a DJ booth, something. Just do something with it. I mean, I remember when I'm pretty sure it was Move It, Shake It, Celebrate It or something, when I was there in 2010 and they had the Celebrate You song with Corbin Bleu playing over the top. And that was in 2010. That was 6 years ago. Now, I know the parades last a long time, and obviously even Main Street Electrical Parade's been there for years now, which they've just got rid of. But the floats, what we're saying is they don't fit the theme. They just need to be changed.
Just to be a bit more relevant to the message of the parade, I think, is what we're saying.
So that's our list of our good, bad and ugly Disney World fireworks shows and parades. There are quite a few more, so they're all kind of really worth checking out, really, if you're interested in it. I mean, I wouldn't say that Indiana Jones was terrible if you were a massive fan of Indiana Jones and that kind of thing, but for us, it's just like, psh. So I'll be interested to see what your list is, because it could be the same. I'm hoping it's the same, but it could be completely different, and you might love The Little Mermaid and Indiana Jones and hate Illuminations and Fantasmic. So I want to hear what your thoughts are, but thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye!
Bye.